Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's section of the MMRO class, basically known as the morning market review class. This is a class where we understand the intricacies of the markets, what has happened the day before, and envisaging what is to be or what should probably happen in the course of the day, most of the times in the course of the week. So I want every one of you to sit back and please pay close attention. Pay close attention to whatever you will be taught or whatever we'll be discussing this morning. I'm sure you all can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know by dropping a chat so that I know that we are communicating. If you can hear me, please drop a chat. You want to mute yourself. I'm sure by now we are used to this. That when you come into a class like this, you mute yourself so that you don't disrupt the attention of others. So I'm just taking time to wait for our chairman them, who will always come in late. So just let's hold on a bit, and in the next 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to commence. I'm sure you all are also enjoying the August break. It's been how many days without rain? For those in the southeast, I don't know if you guys have started seeing your August break, but I think for some time now, we in Lagos especially, we've actually had that. What's the time now? So if you don't have audio, please, it's from your end. So do well to organize yourself from your end. Thank you very much. If you don't have an audio, please do well to check from your end. And by 8:10, we are going to kickstart. Okay. Abuja people, it's been raining over there. Shey Wike has carried the south raid to Abuja. My Abuja people, did Wike carry south raid to Abuja? Hey, it's been raining in Abuja. Bele, don't mind the rain. Don't mind it. We'll call police for it now. Okay, Benin Warri trained. Should I say that is normal? It's normal now. We're already used to it. Abi not be so. It is well. All right. So we have 1 more minute. We have 1 more minute, and we are going to dive into what we have for today. So hope you have your pen and paper. Hope you all have your pen and paper ready. Hope you have your pen and papers ready. Okay, so we are just going to kickstart. So we're going to be looking at, like I said, understanding the market, what has happened prior, and how it is affecting, or how it's going to affect what we have this morning. And like I also said, we'll be looking at, ways, you can take advantage of this. What I tell people is, in this market, you learn and you earn. You earn as you learn. Okay, so it's something that is available to everybody. It's something that it's available to everyone, and we can all take advantage of it. So quickly, I'm going to breeze into what we have, and I'm going to be sharing my screen. That will be the next thing I'm going to be doing. I'll be sharing my screen for us to see, and just give me a second. I'm trying to give you a second. So today will be, just give me a second, trying to. Okay, so quickly I'll be sharing my screen, and then we take it up from here this morning. Sorry about that. I needed to be sure we have a proper guide this morning. All right. So first and foremost, I like to take my time to explain or to understand, give a vivid understanding of what has been happening in the US sector, because the truth of the matter is the US sector basically is a powerhouse. We can't take that away. We can't take that away from the fact that, the US zone, or the US economy, or the US section is a powerhouse. Now, whatever you're doing, most of the things we have are always quoted in the dollar. You want to buy your gold is being quoted in the dollar. You want to buy your oil is being quoted in the dollar. Check any singular thing. If you want to japa now, for those who have japa, those that are planning to japa maybe by the end of this month or beginning of next month, or up until even December, for those that probably in the future, you will find out that even your funds is being quoted. When you are looking for your POL, they will tell you, oh, the equivalent of $70,000, or the equivalent of $8,000, or the equivalent of $9,000. So we can't take away the fact that the US zone, the US economy, and the US as a country is a force to be reckoned with. No wonder we had, a joint combination of different countries coming together, to form a new world currency. I'm sure you people are not new to that. BRICS. That is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa coming together to form a unified currency, which is targeted at, competing with power, or having a power tussle with the US dollar. Now, quote and unquote, the aim, or the main aim of that, is to, be able to draw down or weaken the dollar, weaken the strength of the dollar, or in a bit to compete measurably with what the dollar is currently doing now. And how many of you think that is even possible? Do you think that it's possible that something like that can happen? That a currency can one day someday, we're not talking about Naira now. Naira, we have a long way to go. So I'm going to take my time explaining in vivid, why we have this strength or why we have this fall, whatever dollar is currently doing, and then we'll bring it down to the different instruments we'll be looking at today. So first and foremost, everything started from the COVID season. COVID came, people needed funds, people were not going out, meaning they were not working, meaning because they were not working, they were not being paid. And because of they didn't have money, they needed, to survive. Even they didn't have money, but they also needed to survive. Hence, the US government reached out on stimulus. Of course, we all know what stimulus means. It's like what Nigerians will call palliative, and then they pumped in stimulus to the economy, giving people money so that they can be able to survive. Now, stimulus in the form of cash, stimulus in the form of bond yield, reducing of interest. In fact, the country started asking people, people could easily access that stimulus. After that, we started seeing a situation whereby there was too many funds in the economy. I don't know if it's in Jonathan or Obasanjo region or regime that they were like, people had money. You could see that the typical not the upper class, not even the middle class, a typical lower class was comfortable in a way. There was like, money in circulation. I think it's Obasanjo, but so they started doing something to, remove too much money from what's it called? The economy. Please follow me. Those people that rush, I don't know if they have gotten to their destination. I can see some of you, you're already asking, how do you use this indicator? Indicator without understanding is as good as what? Answer yourself. So please, let us follow. It's better I understand it now, because the truth of the matter is, for me, even if I don't have an indicator, because I have the knowledge of what is happening in the markets, I will know what to do per time. So indicator is good. What do we call indicators? Indicators are basically, let's say for example, I'm a doctor. All these things we say indicator, they are just like the glove, the stethoscope, the hand glove, those doctors' equipment, right? That they use to operate. But the truth of the matter is, a doctor that has not gone through medical school, a doctor that did not learn, even if you give him all those equipment, he will not know how to use it. Now, I talk, I be not true, I talk. He won't know how to use it. But you see a doctor, you say, this doctor is very good. If you see the equipment he was just using on me, bro, sis, the reason you're opening your mouth to say that doctor is very good is because that doctor has learned. So the equipment only made it better. You can see that some doctors in Nigeria, they'll be saying, they are doctors, but the only thing we lack in Nigeria is no equipment. But give us good equipment, give us good facility, and you'll see that people will function well. So my love, we are getting to that, but let's continue. So in the course of all of this, we have seen a trajectory where, because there was too much money in the system, what did the US government start doing? They started doing what we call increasing price rates, interest rates. And all through September last year, from June, July, August, majorly, towards the end of the year, they started, talking about interest rates. You saw interest rate hikes, interest rate hike. In fact, some of us here, we became millionaires during that period because we always waited virtuously and judiciously for CPI. CPI is, when they talk about interest rates and all. So people were always invested in trading CPI, even till date. But what has happened? Because of the continuous interest rates increase, the US economy began to fall into inflation. Now, what is inflation? It means on a normal, if 200 naira could buy me Bone Straight, buy me Koi shoe, buy me handbag, now 200 naira cannot even afford Bone Straight. Maybe the one it will afford is straight bone. You know the difference between Bone Straight and straight bone. Maybe the one it can afford now is straight bone. Then instead of Koi shoe, it can afford Koi. The other Koi and the shoe is nowhere to be found. And instead of affording handbag, it will not afford hand. I'm sure people are getting my drift. So it's a class. That one no mean say we no go laugh inside them. So while we learn, we have fun so that it will be entering very well. So that was what started happening in the US government. Inflation started taking a tone in the economy. People that had money could not even use the money. People could not produce because the cost of production became high. Now, because the cost of production became high, they had to increase their prices so that at least me, where they produce, I will see profit in what I'm producing. And because they had to increase their prices, the people could not buy. And what happened? Dollar started losing value. Dollar started losing value. Now, the dollar index, you can see from my chart, USD IDX. If you don't have this on your quote or on your market watch, please do well to bring it out, because you need it to be able to understand what the dollar is doing per time. USD IDX, and with a plus sign at the back. So I'm quickly going to show you to the monthly time frame, and then let's take it up from there. Now, this is my monthly time frame. You can see that this was 2022 September. Interest rate hike continued. And what did we see from 2022 September? Dollar started falling because the height of interest rates that was done was so much. Of course, that is what I just explained. And people could no longer purchase because the cost of living was high, cost of production was high. And what happened? Dollar started dropping. Now, towards April, May, June, there was a little bit of relaxation in the interest rate, meaning they didn't, increase it as such. Sometimes if the interest rate was normal, that means it was a increasing interest rate. You can join the evening class today for more, explanation on that. And after the fall, what did we see? We have been seeing a ranging. So the dollar index have not been able to breathe. What did our Senate president say? Let the poor breathe. Now, what we are going to tell dollar is, please, market people, you people should allow the dollar breathe. Dollar needs to breathe. Because since 2022 September, you can see that it has been actually struggling. It has been from this fall, it has just been ranging. It has not been able to move past this. And this is where we currently are. August. This is the August candle. So now that we've understood properly where currently the dollar index is at, now we are going to start analyzing the instruments one after the other. My first instrument I'll be analyzing today is gold. But before we do that, let me share my screen to see Forex Factory and investing.com, what Forex Factory has for us and what investing.com has for us. Okay, so I'll be showing our Forex Factory. Let's see if we even have any high impact news for today, or we have any high impact news for the week. So the next screen you're going to be seeing is my Forex Factory screen. I'm sure we can all see it. Now, For those who probably you're attending this class for the first time and you don't know what Forex Factory is, Forex Factory is a site where we look out for news, informations, happenings, in the countries of the world, countries that are being traded in the financial market. USD, JPY, that's the Japanese yen, the US dollar, the euro, the Great Britain pounds, just basically the Canadian pounds, the Australian pounds, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, the Swiss francs, basically instruments you can see, traded in the financial market. Okay, so we're going to scroll down. Today happens to be Thursday, and what do we have? Today, Thursday 24th, we have unemployment claims coming up by 1:30, and we can see now that this has a red envelope. Now, for those also who are joining us for the first time, if you see any envelope with red, it means that is a high impact news. It means that is a high impact news. If you see any envelope in brown, like this one here, just below this red, is brown in color, it means it's a medium impact news. Now, if you see anyone on yellow, please do note that that is like a weak impact news. And as their name sounds, that is how the meaning is. So when you hear high impact, it means the impact is going to have in the market is going to be high. High can be in the split of second. There are people that wants something that will be moving for 2 hours or 24 hours or 2 years. A high move, a very high move can change in less than a few minutes, can change the impact of a movement that has been happening for 20 years or for 2 years. It's extremely possible in this market. A high news can also continue for weeks, for days, at most for months. Now, as in you can see this one, low impact expected. Then if I put my cursor here, what does it give us? Medium impact expected. So as the name goes, what you're expecting is a medium impact, is a medium feel of this particular kind of news. If I put it on the red cursor, you can see high impact expected. So now we have, understood the fact that by 1:30 p.m. today, Nigerian time, yes, 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, because we have been able to format this time to the Nigerian time to take advantage or to acknowledge the Nigerian time. So 1:30 p.m. today, we'll be having, this particular high impact news come out. Now, having understood that, I'm going to go back to sharing my chat and then we'll take it up from there. So my first instrument for today is gold. We all know that gold and the dollar, they are both safe havens. It's like people from the East, they used to talk about the Ojukwu bunker. I think I was reading something online and then I saw a particular, please do well to mute yourself once you come in. Thank you very much. I'm not going to say that again. Mute yourself. Don't disturb this class. You're not the only one in the class. We're talking about, I think I was reading online, a particular house in the north, I think precisely Borno, purely made of gold. And the wall inside, the outside was built as a barricade that it will take how many tons of bombs to bring it down. So even if you want to say, oh, let me go and shoot gun, but it will not, you're just wasting your time. You understand? So that was how fortified that particular house is. So it actually happened, to be now, it has turned into a tourist site over there. Now, what am I saying? The dollar as well as the gold both serve as safe havens. The dollar and the gold both serves as safe havens. So if you if you don't have any sound, please do well to check your end. I think every other person can hear me. So it means if dollar is weak, people will throw their money, investors will start moving to, oh my God, why do we still have people not muting themselves? So when the dollar is weak, you see investors pump in money into the dollar because that is a safe haven. And when the dollar, into gold, and when gold is weak, you see people pump in money into the dollar because that is a safe haven. Now, why does that happen? It's because these two trade opposite directions of each other. Meaning, if dollar is strong, gold will start selling. But if dollar is weak, gold will start buying, which is currently what we can see from our charts. When I use USD IJEX, that's US index on a monthly time frame, what did we see? That dollar is actually falling. Dollar is weak. Because after this major fall, it has not been able to go past this region. It has been consolidating. And of course, you know what that will do to investors? Investors will thrive, in gold. It means they will start pumping in money, which is why we have seen, even from your 1 hour time frame, we have seen a consistent high move in, on gold. Now, let me take you to the monthly time frame. We can see all the way down, or in fact, came down to this point, but we can see it's actually moving. Now, let us analyze what we have here to what we have in the dollar index. You can see that dollar was not able to go past this weak resistance, and dollar has not been able to go past this zone. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put this zone as my support, because dollar has not been able, you can see it got to this point. It got to this point, it went up back, it got to this point, it wasn't able to break it. It got to this point, it wasn't able to break it. So that means I would basically say this place can comfortably serve as a support. Okay, now compare it to our gold frame or our gold chart, also on a monthly frame. Can you see now that there's also been, it has been on an upward trend? We're not going to, disapprove of that, but they seem to be a verified resistance. Now, even me, I am wondering, what could be that news? What could be that news? Because the only thing that will make either gold break through this verified resistance or fall and break through this weak resistance, weak support, or the kind of news that will make dollar index break through this weak support or come over to this place and break through this weak resistance. What do you think is that kind of news that will cause such a volatility? Let me see if we have people that can do a good guess. Your answer doesn't mean you're right. Me too, I'm asking. It's a question too, I'm also asking myself. So let me see if we have people who can do maybe a sharp guess, a quick guess. What do you think is that kind of news that can cause this kind of a thing to happen? Because we can see now both the dollar and the gold actually, on a support and a weak zone. So it means that it is only a breakout. Now we are looking at it on a monthly time frame. So your analysis or your answer or your guess answer should also be, incorporating it on a monthly time frame. Okay, let me see what we have. NFP, high impact, war, NFP, CPI, FOMC, CPI. If the BRICS succeed with their plan, high impact news. Okay, all of you seem to be right. But in 2 words, high impact news, or in 3 words, high impact, because if you say CPI is a high impact news. If you say NFP is a high impact news, you're correct. If you say FOMC is a high impact news, you're correct. Remember, we have one also today, US employment change. If you say war, those are high news. If you say disaster, if you say BRICS coming to life, those are also high impact. Indian festival, I don't know about that. So probably I'll read through. I know of China, but I will probably have to read through the Indian festival to get more Can you all see my screen? Is it better now? Can you all see my screen? 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 Okay, yes. So we can go ahead. Mr. Adesina, raising your hand. Please do well to make use of the chat. Dropping it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go on. So now for me, personally speaking, I'm still going to envisage a buy. But let me even see if I'm even right. You know, I'm just talking. Let me see, if this thing I'm actually talking about, it's possible. So how do I go to look for information that can confirm, my analysis? I'm going to my investing.com. Somebody talked about investing.com. Yes, I didn't forget. I was definitely going to come to that. So I'm quickly going to go in to my investing.com and I'll be sharing my screen. Remember, I'm taking my time to explain all of this about, because once we're done with, I took time with the dollar index, I'm taking time with gold. Every other one, we already understood. By that time, we would have understood the foundation and we'll just, keep dishing out entries for the day. So my investing.com, I'm quickly going to share my screen. Good. So for those who are new, investing.com is also where you can get information. But unlike the Forex Factory, investing.com opens you up. In fact, it will give you details. And these are details these are news that come in maybe every hour, but at least you're being given information as they come in. So investing.com, just go to your Google Chrome, whatever browser you have, investing.com, that's the site. Now, once you do that, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see where you have markets, as I have highlighted. They're going to give you different instruments that are being traded in the financial markets. But gold is under commodities, don't forget. You have currencies, which we have, Euro USD and the rest of it. We have indices where we have US 100, D30, and the likes of it. You have ETFs, funds, bonds, all of those stocks and the rest of it. But for gold, please, gold is under commodities. So I put on my market watch, I scroll down to where I have commodities, and you can see gold sitting pretty at number 1. I click on it. As it is loading, this is what, it brings out everything you need. Now, once you come to this place, you see news and analysis. News and analysis. Before I move further, what can you see? A green. What can you see this arrow facing up? It means once you go to your investing.com, not only on gold, whether you're checking currencies, Euro USD, US 100, please understand this is also going to give you a guide. I'm seeing a bit of green. Although the green is light, it means, okay, maybe we might have a weak buy, but I'm seeing a buy. If it's red, you're going to see it. You can see that this is as though it's changing to be red, and then it's not highlighted because, of course, we have, a corresponding. We have, if you remember our chart, gold has just moved past a resistance and have turned it to a support. Okay, so but please ensure you look to know what is happening here, and then you scroll down, you see news and analysis. You click on news. Once you click on news, it will bring out news for you. This news was posted 4 hours ago according to our own time. This particular one was posted 12 hours ago. There are times that you even see as low as 36 minutes, 38 minutes, 52 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay? So I click on this first one. What is it telling me? Gold prices hit 2-week high. See, information is power. Anybody will tell you, say, don't worry, you see this market, just come. You will become a $10 one day. Just come. In fact, the thing I will put inside your MT4. Hey, uncle, auntie, tell that person thank you. Pick your 2 slippers or your 2 kwekwe shoe or sundu. You run. Because the truth of the matter is this market is not a get quick rich scheme. It is a market that will fill you up. When I talk, when I go to places to talk, people will wonder like, who is this girl like this? No, it's because of the information I have. It's because of the knowledge, and nobody is hiding this knowledge from you. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it here. You see, just do your work. Gold prices hit what? 2-week high, meaning for 2 weeks, gold has actually been hitting highs. And when you hear high, what do you mean? Gold has been buying. As weak PMIs dent dollar yields. Now, let me read the second part. As weak what? PMIs dent dollar yields. Even if you don't know what PMI means, Google is your friend. You can say, okay, what is the full meaning of PMI? But already when you hear dent, what does it mean? What does it occur to you? Dent. It be like when somebody dirty my clothes, or maybe I dey pass now, somebody can't use dirty hand touch me. You don't dirty my clothes. That's the meaning of dent. So when you have gotten that layman understanding, you now say, oh, that means, okay, they say dent dollar. If somebody dirty my clothes, meaning that my clothes will no longer be shining as it used to shine. I'm trying to bring it home so that big grammar no go dey confuse us. So these things are things that is within and around us. This person has dirtied my clothes. If you're going for an interview and you wear a white shirt, and maybe as you're passing, this nonsense conductor people now splash you water, and the dirty water touches your white shirt, what will you do? That white shirt has been dented. It has been condemned. It's no longer a white shirt, and you can't use it. It has lost the value for the purpose you want to use it for, which is going for that interview. Because the truth of the matter is, you won't be able to go to that interview with that kind of shirt. So what if you take your time to break it down like this? You now say, okay, that means this PMI now, after I have Googled PMI to know the meaning of PMI, then dollar, that means, it was not good to dollar. It affected dollar. So if you see this kind of a news, you continue to read down. Why then do you think somebody will still say, oh, I want to go and buy dollar, when already information has given you pure and plain? Do you understand? So it's something that, we can always resonate with. It's something that is very, very easy for us. So I have taken my time to explain. Now, pick your pen, pick your biro. If you're the one to put it on your chat as you're talking, let's get down to the business of which or of why we are here. English don't be my papa language, make una no verse. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and we'll take it up from there. So having understood all of this, how do I want to place my trade on gold this morning? Remember, gold has gone past its on-hold resistance. However, we need to have a confirmation for the fact that this candle here, or this first candle, let me get my cursor. This first candle, this is an hour time, a 1 hour time frame. It means every candle must open and close every 1 hour. After every 1 hour, a new candle is formed. After every 1 hour, a new candle is formed. Let's not forget that. So if you're going to a 15-minute time frame, it means after every 15 minutes, a new candle is formed. Every 15 minutes, a new candle is formed. I'm sure we are all used to this already. So already by 8 o'clock, we have seen this close above, the on-hold resistance. However, the candle did not give us, it wasn't as though it was confident. This candle, they do like say maybe they fear, to show us what they won't do. But now we see this one, when we are seeing, a bit of a red, we can say, oh, this is a sell. Probably somebody who is just seeing this other candle, this one that my cursor is on. The person might look, this thing, she na buy been a say. Of course, you know how to take it up. Even as I am taking it out, we don't seem to even understand what it is, right? But we have a confirmation here, which is this particular candle, which is this current candle. And you know that this candle will last till 9 o'clock because this is an hour time frame. So by 9 o'clock, a new candle will form. So if a new candle forms and it forms above this stone cold resistance, if formed above this stone cold resistance, my dear, we might still continue seeing a buy. It might not buy to this verified resistance, but we'll definitely see snippets of continuous buy. But if it doesn't break, that means if this 9 o'clock candle does not close above this stone cold resistance, then we might probably see market falling. And remember, we have this moving average serving as also a support to us. So this is what I want us to do now. I'm going to enter for a buy on my pending orders. Remember, we're using a pending order. I'm going to enter for a buy. Pending order at slightly above this previous candle. As far as 1923.27, 1923.27. And remember, I had said, for me personally, remember, we also have a news coming out by 1:30. So we might see markets range a bit before 1:30, and that 1:30 news is a high impact news. So investors might want to be, patient or calm or just play around the market gently, expecting or waiting ahead of 1:30. So that we are not caught off guard, we are also going to, have their sense. We're also going to play the way investors are going to play. So I'm going to take in 1923.27 rather as my entry, and my take profit at 1927.38. Now, for the purpose of this, because we have this high impact news coming out by 1:30, you necessarily don't need to even wait till the take profits, because there's a possibility that before price will get to that, maybe it's 12 o'clock, maybe it's 1, I don't know, right? But to be on a safe side. Now, remember I said, if this current candle closes below, and we see a confirmation below this stone cold resistance, it means we might also see a sell. But remember, we also have this moving average serving as a support for us. So I'm going to go in for a sell at price 1919.15, and my take profit just at this moving average at 1916.71. Somebody will ask, oh, but they are too close. Of course, remember, we have a trade or a high impact news coming out by 1:30, and you don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want to be caught. Me, I don't want to be caught off guard. Maybe you want to be caught off guard, but I don't want to be caught off guard. So I'm going to put my take profit just at this moving average serving as a support at 1916.71. We've taken that down, right? So quickly, the next one I'm going to go into is Euro USD. Of course, we know Euro USD too is another instrument that do the opposite of what the dollar is doing. And if I quickly go to my daily time frame, you're going to see the euro has actually been falling, and the dollar also has actually been falling. But you just said now that the euro does exactly or the opposite of what dollar has been doing. Now the question is, yes, even though the euro does most of the time or the opposite of what dollar has been doing, the euro also have their own problem. Of course, when we hear the euro, it's the eurozone, France, Germany, and the rest of it. And I'm sure you all know the war that's been happening in Niger. And you know that France has been very, very vocal about that war. And you know why? Because I think that particular natural resource that France, collects from the Niger. And that one enables oil. Is what produces oil. Is it something aquarium? Might be something. I can't remember the name. Uranium or something. And they use it basically. It's like when we say oil in Nigeria here. That's yes. Thank you guys. I've seen it. You get, so it has actually been a tough one for the eurozone. Truth of the matter, go and it's everywhere. It's on channels. It's on Arise TV. That's for Lagos broadcasting televisions. It's everywhere. So it's been affecting them really, really bad. And when we talk about the eurozone, France, Germany, they are the top two. So imagine if, like now, when we say West Africa, they used to call Nigeria giant of Africa. Imagine if Nigeria is going through a war. It will affect everybody now. It will affect Ghana. It will affect Senegal. It will affect, most of the neighboring countries. So if France, Germany, who are like the top two in the eurozone, having this kind of crisis, of course, it will affect every other countries, little countries that make up the Eurozone. Hence, we see that even though the dollar is low, which is supposed to give strength to the Eurozone, we still see, the Eurozone struggling. So on that note, I'm still going to put a pending order. For me, I still see we might still see a further sell, because we can see that it's been hovering around this untested resistance. But then let's see what happens by 130. But then for my sell, for my buy rather, if you want to go for a buy, please, you can see the market got to this point. Let's count it together. 1, it got here. 2, this was a buy that now turned out to be a sell. 3, this is the third one. This one here, it went past it. 4, are you counting with me? It went past it. 5, but they've not been able. Okay, they've been able to break it. This one broke. It could not continue. We saw this sell. So there's a possibility to that market too, will continue this sell, even if not so strong, but just snippets of it while we wait ahead for the 130 news. So for a buy, please, I will comfortably wait the price rate above these particular highs. These fakers that we have seen at price 1.08773. 1.08773. Of course, with your take profits anywhere that is suitable for you. At this point in time, I cannot give you, it's a wide range from here to even the next resistance is a wide space. So anyone that works for you. But for the purpose of people that will say, just give me those that, they keep collecting and don't want to, test themselves, test their limits. Let's take our take profit at 1.08858. 1.08858. Now on for the sell, of course, you can see that the price has gotten to this point, but it went back. So I'm just comfortably going to take my position at price 1.08511. 1.08511, meaning I want a situation whereby price will get to this particular place that price got to and reverse. I want price to get to this point first before I can comfortably, enter a sell. And of course, like I said, your take profits as your village people please, or as you please, or as your soul please, or as your wife please, or as your husband please, or as your children. Just anyone that suits you, But for the purpose of people that will say, "Shall give me," make it for no be say, we're going to do it at let's enjoy this one small. 1.08408. 1.08408. Now we've done gold, we've done Euro USD. We're going to rush down into USD card. USD card. Now, what can you say? The truth of the matter is, I feel the Canadian economy is just an economy that is chilling. When patients say, "I'm not too like stress," no. Anything will give me stress and no. Oh, free me, guy. I know day for that thing. If you go give me wahala, don't worry, no worry, I know day. And so Canada people be. So they are not, they have their own issues. Oh, trust me, they have their own issue. But I think they've been able to, work around it, know how to manage themselves, know how to build themselves. You get so because we see that the dollar is weak. That is why we see this sell. Remember, there's a bid. I didn't take time to explain the bid and the ask price. But for Euro USD, if the dollar was weak, would have seen Euro USD buy, because the euro is the ask and the dollar is the bid, right? But of course, I've explained why, even if the dollar seems to be weak now, why we are not seeing the euro strong. I think I've explained that using the Niger issue and the rest of it. But if we have currencies like USD, where the US dollar is the bid or the quotes, and the ask price and the bid price, where the US dollar is in front, if the dollar is weak, of course, it's going to show in the chart or in the economy that the dollar is weak, which is what we are saying here. if you quickly go to your daily time frame, you know, you can actually see that we happen to experience this. We saw a bit of push up from the dollar because the dollar is weak. It is not giving us this fall. And then Canadian dollar, and remember, I have also explained that the Canadian dollar, they know how to arrange themselves. You know, even when the issue of interest rate hike happened, we never for one day saw it, you know, have a ripple or a tremendous ripple effect on the Canadian economy. You know, they were able to arrange their economy to their own benefit. So even when you see that dollar is weak, and maybe you're saying dollar is weak, USD cash should sell, because the Canadian dollar in itself is an economy that has been able to have a stability. You can see that it's not tilting to that way. I don't know if you understand me. It's like when Tinubu came and said dollar, whether black markets, whether bank rates will be parallel. If we are able to have a country that is stable, a country that, you know, the economy strength is good, even if the dollar is weak, it's not going to affect us. That's the truth of the matter. Even if the dollar is weak and maybe we are being quoted in the dollar, say maybe USD NGN, that's the Nigerian Naira, USD versus Nigerian Naira. Even if dollar is weak, maybe we are supposed to see a fall. If the Nigerian Naira or the Nigerian economy is a stable economy, we are not going to, our chart is not going to show that fall. Our chart will show that even if, yes, so the dollar is in the forefront or is in the ask price, not the bid price, and we're supposed to see a fall, we are not falling because our economy can carry us against the dollar. But if the Nigerian economy is low and dollar is low, you will see a free fall. I don't know if you understand me. So that is what actually is happening with the US dollar. So you can with the USD card chart. So you can see that even though dollar is suffering, other economies, euro also is battling their own. Dollar is suffering, euro should be enjoying, but euro is not enjoying because they are also battling their own issue. But dollar is suffering, and Canada is not, you know, going through that route because they've been able to build a stable, at least a stable economy for them. But trust me, if the Canada economy was not stable, oh my God, you would have seen, you know, a fall. Okay, good. So on that note, coupled with the fact that we have our moving average serving also as a support, I'm quickly going to put our entry price at this point, right, at price 1.35629, 1.35629, and our take profit at this point. Remember, this sell candle you're seeing here, it did not start as a sell, it started as a buy. It got up to this point, but could not continue, and then it fell. So we are going to use this point as our take profit point at price 1.36100. Entry at 1.35629. Take profit at 1.36100. Now, for a sell, if market decides to sell, trust me, I'm not going to see any sell that will be below this moving average. I am not seeing any sell that will go as low as below, except there's a high impact news from the US zone, and maybe the Canada economy now starts losing strength. But if the Canada economy is able to hold on, you know, even if not so much strength, but able to keep what they currently have now, trust me, you know, we are still going to see this, even if it looks like maybe a ranging market, it is not giving us a clear-cut buy, it's not giving us a clear-cut sell, but snippets of it, we are going to see that, you know, if we compare it, look at it openly now, if we widen or broaden the chart, look at it critically, we'll still see that, you know, there is a tussle. We see a fall, we see a buy, we see a fall, we see a buy. It means that the stability of the Canada government or the Canada economy can still battle side by side with whatever the dollar is doing. I hope you guys are, you know, are understanding this thing. So on that note, I am not seeing any sell that will go past this moving average. So forget it. But to be on a safe, to enter for a sell today, if this current candle sells up to this point that it had, you know, price sold to this point and then moved up back. So if it sells to this point, then it can pick me up and continue selling as price 13508. Or to be on the safe side, I'm going to just drag it down a bit to this point because it got here and went back up. So there's a possibility, we are not going to erase that. There's a possibility that it can also get to that point and still go back up. So to be on a safe side, if price gets to this particular point at 1.34930, 1.34930, with my take profits, just like I said, I'm not doing anything below this moving average weight that is serving as my support. Anything you want to say, I'm not. Okay, so if it goes below this, I'll put my take profit as 1.34563, 1.34563. Now I'm going to rush into the indices sector. Now we have, I think I've over talked even about the US dollar, and we know that US indices is like the companies. Let me use Nigeria as an example. So we have Nigeria economy. What are the things that make up the economy? Parastatals, companies, industries, economies, basically that is what it is. If we put the shares of Dangote, Otedola, Fort Oil, Deloitte, FM, Honeywell, which other industry? Rally Trade, which other travel industry? Say Waka Now. Which other industry have I not called? Deloitte, so I've called that one. And do you know any? KPMG, Allah, Coca-Cola. If we put all these companies together and their shares is good, it's going to affect the dollar. So if Nigeria is going to affect the naira. So if the Nigerian currency is low, we will see our stocks thrive. Why? Because people will leave the Nigerian naira. I would rather not have cash, but if you go to my shares with Dangote, oh boy, I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. That's what is happening. So now that we have already established that the dollar is weak, what do you see people doing? People start pumping in money to either gold or to either stocks. And when you hear US stocks, you know that these are US indices. When you hear US 100, US 30, US 30, US 500, these are the companies, when we hear you say, for example, US 100, these are top 100 companies in the US. So let's say NGN or Nigerian 50. It means the top company in Nigeria. I hope you guys are hearing me. So because we have seen that, we have established the fact that the dollar seems to be, having a little bit of kwashiorkor, K-leg, the leg is not good, the hand, he's having malaria, he's having typhoid, he's having heart problem, he's just trying to survive. You see people, I beg, not be me, go follow you die. Let me kukuma go to the place that I will enjoy and be fat and eat and flourish. You see people pumping to gold or either, the US indices. So that is why actually we have, this uptrend we are seeing in the US zone. However, remember we have a high impact news coming out by 1:30. So I'm not surprised to see this as a verified support. Sorry, a verified resistance. Nah, I'm not surprised to see this as a verified resistance. So what am I going to do? What do you think you should do if you're faced at this point, seeing that we have a high impact news coming in by 1:30? Extremely playing safe. So I would rather not even, because from here, you see a verified resistance, you see a untested resistance, you see an untested resistance. They're telling you that, guy, you need to chill because we have a high impact news coming. And remember, that high impact news is in the US zone. And we are talking about the US market now, the US indices now. So we all need to be careful. But this is what I'm going to do. For case of, let's not be that I came to class and they did not give us anything on US 100. I'm going to go in for a sell first. Putting for a sell as far as 15360.83, as far as 15360.83, and of course my take profit just before my moving average. And I've said your moving average can also serve as your support or as your resistance, depending on the direction they are facing. So I'm going to put it at price 15284.37. However, if let's say we have people who their body cannot stay off the market, because for me personally, I would say let us leave anything on buy. If you want to buy them, probably you can scalp on your own, or you can wait for 130. But the truth of the matter is that there are people that if I finish this class and I don't give a buy on US 100, they will keep saying, they will talk about it even in their sleep. Is it not how that girl was just talking? She did not give us US 100 buy. Don't mind her. Next time I will not attend that class. How would they not? There are people like that. They will rather not listen to the advice, but they just want to satisfy their own craving, which of course sometimes is good. Sometimes you can eat and then you begin to go to toilet. So, but for me personally, I would rather stay off a buy on US 100 till the news by 130 comes out. So do I have people in agreement with me? No or yes? Let me see. So let me go to our weekly time, a lower time frame to see if we can. Nah, I can't. Sorry, guys. So for US 100, please, I'm going to only drop a sell for this. And then we hold on to what we have by 130. If it gives us a buy, please do well. You know, the afternoon signal comes in, the 2 o'clock news comes in. I'm sure most of us even get the 2:30 New York market section. You have a lot of things in the afternoon to take advantage of it. But for this morning, I am not going to do anything off the market. And thank you for agreeing with me. But please do well, you know, to take advantage of the sell, set your trade pending order. If it goes, fine and good. If it doesn't go, no loss. You no lose. Abi? So the next one we're going to do quickly is US 30, and then we'll close with oil. So US 30 for today. Of course, we've understood, you know, how it works and all. So I'm not going to waste much time on US 30. I'm just going to give my entry. Yes, for US 30 now, this gives us, you know, it's a smaller company, so it gives us room, you know, to explore. So I'm going to do, this is what, remember we have this high, this was a buy. We got to this point and we saw this, you know, we saw this little reversal, but thankfully our moving average seems to be serving as a support here, right? You can see that our moving average was able to wedge it, and then this current candle seems to be coming up on a buy. So this is what I'm going to do. For my buy, please, I'm going to put it at this point. Let me be sure. You know, this is a new candle. We just got into 9 o'clock. So this is a 9 o'clock candle. The candle just started. Let me bring my cursor. This candle just started, right? So I want it to get to this point first before I can take advantage of it, to be sure that yes, although my moving average is telling me that yes, so it will continue buying, but okay, I've heard, except I am scalping. If you're scalping, of course, you know, it's not the one that you scalp, then you go and drink juice. Account manager, what's scalping? I just said, let me go and drink juice. Oga, they know they drink juice for scalping. If you're scalping, you are on your system. You're entering the trade, you're closing, except you want to stack. There's a difference between stacking and scalping. Attend the class, Google it, or reach out to your account manager. Okay? So using the 1 hour time frame, I'm going to wait till it gets to this point at 34.57.9. 34.57.9. 34.57.9. And my take profit at, you know, just a little before my verified resistance at 34.63.5. 34.63.5. Now on an if I want to give a sell, I will have to wait for a confirmation that this candle is going to break below this moving average. Remember, we have seen this moving average serving as a support here, right? So if it breaks below, then I can say, yes, we can go in for a sell. But if it doesn't break below, please, you know, it shows, just in case of next time, of course, I will give you entry for that. If it doesn't break below, you should know. So, but this moving average is serving as a support. But so my entry will be, you know, respecting this moving average. So I'm going to enter a sell at price 34.48.3, 34.48.3, and of course, my take profit my take profit at 34.42.3, 34.42.3, 34.42.3. I can see somebody crying out USD JPY. Okay, so let's quickly do USD JPY, then we conclude with oil. It's a 21 moving. 21 simple. 21 simple for the person who asked. 21 and a simple. Okay, so for my USD JPY, now we can see that if there is any even if we want to compare with BRICS, if there's any currency or country that seems to stand as 50% or 60%, sometimes 70% strength, with the US dollar is the Japanese yen. Okay, now we have the Japanese yen. It quotes both for the Japan nation, in fact, the Asian region. If you think of any country in the Asian region, they are all quoted, in using the Japanese yen. So we see a little bit of, and when we talk about strength, of course, you should know China is number one. We have the likes of Japan, North Korea, South Korea. These are people, with booming with strength. You get, and I'm sure we are seeing, we've been hearing in the news the war that between North Korea, South Korea, they've been, whether they want to war or they don't want to war, whether they want to fight or they don't want to fight, they shall be all right. So that is one currency, that can withstand, the fate of whatever the dollar throws at it. In fact, was it the Japan or the North Korea that when people were crying inflation, their own was deflation. And you know what deflation means? You don't have any problem. Your economy is good to the point that good now is not a problem. Ha! That somebody will be good, they will not say you now, your goodness self, now be you too good. Because when we are crying inflation that your money cannot buy, we are saying that there's a country that is enjoying this. That means, what factory people? Oh yeah, bring me fresh hot bread from the factory. I don't need to go to the shop. Fresh hot bread, soft one. Oh, Jehovah. And I use Chivita, Chivita to step it down. You people understand, Abi? If you don't understand, Bele, sorry. So we can see now that, that is one country, or that is one major currency, that have that kind of a strength. So when people see, USD JPY used to move, unlike your USD JPY, so that candle, that instrument or that chart, the candle used to be long. Yes, it's because if USD wants to do their own, the yen, which is a combination of whatever the China economy is doing, whatever the Japan economy is doing, whatever the South Korea economy is doing, whatever the North Korea economy is doing, will also come out to say, we have that same force as you are. So when I used to tell people that, some persons will say, I want to, account manager, I want to face only currency. I say, well, even in that currency, there are instruments that, even in that, currency pair you want to trade, there are certain instruments that are more volatile than others. And that instrument is USD JPY. Okay, so now you've understood it. Whenever you want to trade on it, please make use of your forex factories. See if there's any news in the US zone and in the JPY zone, and then also you make use of your investing.com. Okay, but let me quickly, I think I'm not going to do so much on oil, so I can still share my screen on investing.com so that we can quickly check what USD JPY is saying. So I go to currencies, I click on USD JPY, we can see it's a buy, it's showing us a strong green. I click on news and analysis, I click on news. The last news came out 5 hours ago, and it says Asian FX rises as dollar yields cool on weak PMI data. As self-explanatory as we can all, as I have just said. Asian FX, that is the Asian economy, the exchange of the Asian zone, the Japanese yen, it rise as dollar. Do it what? Yields cool. When you say dollar yields cool, it means something produce small, just cool, just it's not hot, it's not sharp, just cool, one, small, jejely, on weak, PMI. Now, somebody will ask, what's this PMI? Did anybody Google it? Let me even see if I have sharp people, sharp students in this my class. Did anybody Google PMI? Did anybody Google it? Or has anybody rushed now, sharp, to go and Google it? It's actually price manufacturing index. So it, checks the price for, manufacturing products, for production and the rest of it, the cost of, production. When you hear manufacturing, it's the same thing as production. But I don't even need to read. Our entry has given us that Asian FX rises as dollar yields cool. That being said, we already know we should be envisaging a buy on our USD JPY. On that note, I'm going to click on you guys see my chart. Good. I'm going to go in for a buy at we are seeing a little bit of a fake out. So to be on a safe side, I'm going to enter if price is able to get I don't have anything to lose, whether or not it stays, it ranges to 130 if it hits this one. Just for this one, we actually don't have anything to lose. 145.418, 145.418 with our take profit just before the proven resistance at 145.565, 145.565. And of course, my sell, remember we have this. So we need this one to close and a confirmation to see if we are actually going to see a sell. Don't forget we have our this moving average at this point used to serve as a resistance. You can see it was above the chart, it was above the candle, so it was serving as a resistance. But all of a sudden, we can see it has crossed below the chart, now serving as a support. So having had our entry at 145.193, I'm going to have our take profit at 145.058. To conclude for today, we're going to close it with oil. We all know oil is being quoted with the dollar. Not just that, we also know the issue with the uranium, and how we are not being able to get folks. The Eurozone is suffering from this. Also, everyone's, I think, you're looking at your first factory, will have the oil news that comes out, usually a high impact, sometimes a medium impact. I think so at some points sometime last year, it went down even to a low impact, but I think it has been able to gather more strength. So if you go to investing.com, you still see it, as a high impact. Now, all of this is actually causing this fall we have in oil, oil being quoted in dollar. And if the dollar is low, it means, people can't help but to sell it what the price of dollar is. I don't know if you understand me. So if the dollar is low and they're quoting oil in dollar, people that own oil would rather want to sell, just sell, give me anyone you have. Okay, because now me where they buy, go they do shakara. Because if dollar is high, the seller will be making shakara. No, that's so we go sell them. If you don't want buy, come out. If you don't want buy, come out. But dollar is low. If you say you want to sell it for $15,000, hey, dollars love value. Meaning I can pay, I can buy. There's nothing. So they would rather, sell off so that they can, collect, make back their profit. I don't know if you guys understand me. So that they would rather, sell off, make off their profit, and then, maybe watch out for what is going to happen in the coming season. And of course, we have our moving average, respecting that, and we see our moving average serving as a resistance point at this point. So for me, we should probably see a snippet of sell, but to be on the safe side, just to respect what my chart is, telling me, because this particular sell here got to this point, but it moved back up, even though the candle closed in itself as a sell. But I'm going to respect this information being given to me and put my sell at price 82.56, at price 82.56. So if this current candle or the candle to come gets to price 82.56, it should pick me up. And of course, we might take profit before the verified support at 82.23. But on an alternative, if we want to go in for what's it called, for a buy, remember, like I said, explaining the dollar and how it correlates with oil, and also confirming that with the moving average, I'm going to wait for price to get to this point at price 83.19. And of course, it might take profit. We might take profit at 83.44. I don't fly go. 83.44. On that note, we are actually going to call it a day. Please feel free. Today is Thursday, and the last section for today continues today. Do well to attend the 6 p.m. class. Do well to attend the live trading class by 2 o'clock, and do well to take advantage of the high impact news coming out by 1:30 p.m. I love you. See you same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. not 8 p.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. And trust me, the truth of the matter is, it's not my voice you will hear. You probably hear somebody else's voice. But do take care of yourself. See you all when next I'll be having the section with you guys. It was actually a fun section. If you want my number, please do well to request that from your account manager. Thank you very much for your compliments. I appreciate you. Thank you for following. Thank you for understanding. I hope you understood. I love you. Take care. Bye. Eat your food and remain for meal, and cover yourself. Drink pepper soup for those that is raining in your area. Drink pepper soup so that the cold, will go away. You fight the cold with hot catfish pepper soup. For those who don't have rain, sorry, be drinking ice cream and cold zobo and cold Pepsi or Coke so that you fight off the heat. Love you. My name is Amaka. If you want my number, please reach out to your account manager for that. And see you soon. Take care and bye.